Another one. Thinking about a job offer. I recently received a job offer via LinkedIn over a recruiter. I currently work as a QA engineer for a bank, and I have been approached to work for a small company which closely works with banks and companies in the finance sector. They were initially looking to fill a pure software testing role, but within my current job, I bring more skills than they were looking for, and they want me to be their QA manager. The problem is they have nothing. I would have to build up everything up from scratch. Don't threaten me with a good time. This gives me a bit of a weird feeling. Here are some pain points. Developers are outsourced, get updates, and we are responsible for testing and deliver feedback. Developers don't have unit tests or integration tests. How is this even a thing? They apparently only test if buttons have functionalities. What the beep? They are so far they so far plan to have 4 releases a year. They use Excel for test case documentation. Basically, I am currently a little confused and indecisive. I would get a decent salary raise opposed to my current job. Also, it seems as if I could really build up QA structure as my colleagues are young but inexperienced. I right now just don't know what to do and feel a little overwhelmed, as in how will I create the structure and improve the processes they currently have? I feel like I could improve and change, and on top of that, gain insane experience of being a QA manager slash tech lead, but also a little worried or helpless. Any tips, discussions, experiences, feelings, questions to share? I'm still pretty young and would like to get some thoughts of people that maybe have experienced similar situations. Oh my God. What a beautiful, beautiful opportunity, right? So here's the thing, right? While me personally, I am not like I've been in management positions before. I'm not the craziest person about it, but this is such a great opportunity, especially like working in the banking and finance sector. You know, and here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I'm close, right? The opportunity that you have to pioneer, right? To lead, to innovate. It's it's not often that you get approached like this, right? And the thing is, if you watch any of my resume videos, right, the key to having a resume that stands out is that you want to have accomplishments. You want to say, I was able to come into this company and be able to solve this problem, that problem, that problem. I put this into place, that into place, everything like that, right? So everything, all the pain points that you have listed here, I see those as opportunities. I see those as challenges to tackle, to improve the company's processes. So that might sound selfish, right? Because, well, I would love to help the company as well. You always have to think about how are you also going to help yourself. And being said, you are going to help yourself by solving these issues, right? And gaining that experience, and the amount of money that you're going to make by being the QA manager is going to be substantial, right? And you get to, try different things. If it fails, you pivot, you adjust, right? You see what works, right? So let's go through these point by point, right? This is the last question of the night, so I'm not even gonna put the timer up on this one, right? Let's get rid of the timer. All right. So it says, so let's go point by point, right? Developers are outsourced, get updates, and we are responsible for testing and deliver feedback. So being the QA manager, you get to change that process. You get like you get to strategize. Say, okay, what works, right? The way that we're doing it right now, it is not efficient. It doesn't work. We are going to make an adjustment. And guess what? If they're in a different time zone and you're just like and you're the QA manager, like hey, we need to have these meetings at a time that everyone's available. We're not going to be spending like 24-hour cycles before we can actually get feedback and make changes and start working. No. So you implement the process. Like, okay, we need to be available for a stand up, at this particular time, and this is what we're gonna do, and this is how it's gonna work. If it doesn't work for you, then we might have to make adjustments. We might have to shift the way that we work with developers and stuff, right? How like you get to choose that, right? The developers don't have unit and integration tests, right? You are responsible for quality, right? And you have the ability to demand it, right? Say we like the test, the quality assurance fails without adequate test coverage, right? We are not going to be using our testing capabilities to be your unit test and your integration test, right? Um, we'll gladly test the APIs, we'll gladly test the UI, we'll gladly help you come up with testing strategies for your unit test on what to cover. But if you do not have unit tests, integration tests, the quality standards fail, right? And then I would as the quality manager, because unit testing and integration testing, although it's something that the developers primarily do, it falls under quality, right? So I would implement code, like write stories, implement code coverage, um, metric reporting tools, so that you can know, so that you can have the code quality, right? And if the developers are outsourced, they have to do what you say. They're outsourced, right? They're contractors. They have to do what you say. So if you write stories like, "Hey, we want to add this code coverage tool into our project," they have to do it, right? They're not the boss of you, right? So they plan to have 4 releases a year. I mean, it depends on what type of software that you're doing. If you're like if you're releasing like SaaS applications, then sometimes some companies they have 3 major releases a year, while they have like mini releases like every 2 weeks. You need to figure out that part, right? But I wouldn't let that stop me, right? And so they have 4 releases planned a year. Um, you need to get more context about that to see, like, is it really just 4? Because it's terrible to do like major upgrades all at once, right? So see if they still plan to do like mini releases every so often, or are you working on like some type of that type of application? It just depends, right? They use Excel for test case documentation. That is like, as the QA manager, you can make a case for using um, a test case management system, right? Where you can document your test cases, document your test runs, create your test suites, have your automation linked to it to update the results, whatever the case may be, right? You're not, see, if you come in as a QA tester or just a QA engineer, you are very limited in what you can offer. But as a QA manager, you are able to influence, right? Not that you can't do it as a QA engineer, but as a QA manager, your voice is bigger because you are in management and you can influence and you can be the voice for QA, right? You can influence the tools that we use. You can influence the softwares that we use. You can get the budgets that we need to get these softwares, to get these tools, right? When I was working at certain companies, I was able to like I wasn't like management, but I pretty much managed the offshore QA resources, and I was able to influence the company to get us the right tools, the right test case management systems that we needed to be able to successfully run our QA team, right? So as a QA manager, you have all of that influence, right? It is a great opportunity. Um, I think what you're facing is like it's a bit of a fear, right? Maybe a little bit of imposter syndrome, right? Which everyone does, but a lot of times what I've seen is the company believes in you more than you believe in yourself. And that's unfortunate, right? Because I think that you are more than capable to do what you need to do, right? They see it in you. Why can't you see it in yourself, right? And the fact that you could really like build the QA structure, you can mentor your young colleagues who are inexperienced, right? I think that is such a great, like, so much value can be taken out of this opportunity. And guess what? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, right? But you don't like. I think it was Michael Jordan who said this, right? You miss all the shots that you don't take, right? This is such a great opportunity for you, right? And how you can put your thumbprint on a company, a small company at that, right? A small banking fund, like so many great opportunities here, right? You can use like your knowledge because you're already in the banking industry, right? And so you can see how a good structure would go for like for a small company, and you can like and you know about the regulations and all that stuff. You can really leave lasting impact onto the company, onto the younger QA engineers that you be mentoring, and most importantly, most importantly, on your bank account, right? So I think that it'll be such a great opportunity for you to pass up. And I am actually going to reach out to you directly because I don't think that you have much to be worried about. And that I think and maybe you get some coaching, right? And that you have someone who has experience in the field who can help you and give you some advice, give you some guidance in the different things that is going on so that you don't have to have these like feelings of doubt and of imposter syndrome and of inexperience, right? The sky is the limit for you, and I don't think that you need to something that you need to fear, right? So that is our last question of the night.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.